This week, we're seeing price reductions exactly where I predicted. Inventory is on the rise, and a clear buyer pattern that just continues every single week. It's the same story. Let's get into it. Let's start with the higher end tier. So $9 million plus range, everybody. I made a video on May 4th stating that we will start to see more of these homes in that segment start reducing. We will. And now guess what? That's right. We had two more homes in the $9 million plus range reduced this last week. One in the $11 to $13 million range and another one in the $19 to $21 million range. And I can already tell you for next week's report, I have another one. And then in my last update posted on Saturday, May 10th, I stated that homes that are $4 million and under, seeing limited movement, they're on market over a month. They either need to re-strategize their pricing or marketing, right? Well, guess what happened? Just a few days after that video came out, this last week, just this week, I already have 6 homes that have reduced. That's not a coincidence. That's real-time buyer behavior confirming exactly what I said. And I want to put a disclaimer that there is still a chance that if your home has been on market 30 plus days, 4 million and under, there is a chance that it will get picked up without a price reduction. Yes, because I saw it happen. Caminito Helecho, right? That one was 3 million and under, listed April 7th with no price reductions, and it went pending this last week. So yes, it is possible. But what I'm saying is overall, it's not as likely. And the active detached inventory is increasing as expected as we're heading from spring into summer season. On March 12th, we had 71 active detached homes. As of May 12th, we have 95. That's almost a 34% increase in inventory overall in La Jolla in just 2 months. And please know I only ever include homes that are truly detached, that are single family. I'm not including multi-units, I'm not including triplexes, none of that. Now let's discuss pendings, which remained flat from the week before to last week, okay? So in last week's report, we said we had 7 homes go pending from $3.999 million and under. Well, this last week, we also had another 7 that went pending, but this time it's gonna be from 5.980 and under. The one house that was the highest price, which was almost $6 million, is going to be on Meerlands Drive. And that house is the only home out of all of them that has a history of price reductions. And they first tried to sell back in December, like just right before the holidays. That's when they first listed the house, had multiple price reductions, and then finally went pending this last week. And it's the same story over and over again, everybody. I repeat myself every week. Buyers are leaning towards properties that have zero history of price reductions, that are fresher to market. Out of all the homes except for the one that was listed back in December, all the homes, they came on from April 3rd and later. Many of them came on in May, everybody, with zero history of price reductions, fresh to market. And this is why it's so important to price right from the start, to have the right strategy from the start, because if you do not, you can risk sinking to the bottom of the pond and having all the fresh listings get picked over yours, because we're in the spring season, we're heading into summer, which is busy season, meaning the buyers are out there. But the buyers right now, they're pretty picky, and they're picking all the new stuff that is on market. They're not really leaning towards the properties that have been sitting. So this is the time where, you know, we might have to rewire how we're thinking about summer and just saying, oh, well, maybe we'll hold out. Well, the data shows otherwise. And I'm not really referring to the homes that are like, you know, 8 million, 10 million, 20 million. That's a different tier. Although we are seeing the price reductions there, yes, because there's limited movement. But when it comes to the tier that's like $4 million and under, where we have more supply of those homes, you have a lot more competition, right? And even though the buyers are picking up those homes faster, yes, because they're more affordable, you still have to reconsider like how you compare to the rest of the homes. I think the fact that us agents, that we look at comps, look at sold listings, is a thing of the past. I think we need to start also looking at the future, look at the pendings. We need to see what the active inventory is, which is super important, because that is what your buyer is comparing, you know, the other homes to your home. And that is key. This is why tracking weekly using my own system matters, because through buyer behavior and pattern recognition, I can forecast what the future holds. And also, as you saw in the price reduction chart, we had 9 price reductions this last week, which means we're tied for first place at 9, with week 11 being the most price reductions within a single week since I started tracking from January 19th of this year. Of course, we have higher price reductions now, which makes sense if our supply is increasing. Higher supply means that prices are going to come down in some ends, okay? Not all homes, okay? Because again, some of these homes, they are like really hot homes that likely have multiple offers because the buyers again are leaning towards the fresh properties. But if the home has been on market for some time, yes, we're going to start seeing more price reductions as the supply is increasing for those homes. All in all, position your home to look like the best deal out of the rest of your competition. And again, I'm Tara Ravanbach, your La Jolla native insider and market analyst, and I'll see you next week.